Hey everybody, Rich Graham here from Trident Fitness. I just want to take a minute to talk to you about how to pack and properly put on a rucksack. We got a couple events coming up that are going to be rucksack races. I know a lot of guys do like weight training with vest or backpack. So I just want to take a minute to kind of give people a heads up in case they haven't done it before, so they know how to actually pack it. Because there is a way you can do it that'll either make your workout like really good or really suck. So some of the bags that we have, this is a typical like military rucksack or an outdoor rucksack here, and this is really good for working out. A lot of guys like to use like the Alice pack, but one of the biggest things you want to look for if you're going to use a weighted backpack to do these workouts is you really want to get something that has a really fat, good waistband. When you're doing these workouts, you want most of the weight to sit into your hips. You have these other ones that look like a military style backpack, and if you look here, it has no waistband. So this is cool if you're only lifting, like if you're only going to do like 10 to 15 pounds maybe. But if you're carrying any more weight than that, for a long distance, it's going to get old, and it's going to get old really quick. Another one that you may see a lot of, I use this. I've used this in real world and a lot of training stuff. Great backpack. This does have a waist strap, but if you look at this waist strap, it's very, very thin. So this is great for control, like if you're going mountain biking or whatever, and your bag's flopping all over the place. This holds the bag from, when you have it on, it keeps it from getting away from you like this. So it keeps it tight to your body, but all the weight still sits in your shoulders. So if this is all you have, what I would recommend doing is maybe taking like a t-shirt or a dish towel or something like that, wrapping around this, find out what like the distance is, put it on there, and then just tape it up and try to make this big and fat. It is what it is. If this is the only thing you have, you can make it work. But I would definitely try to get something fat on here. Like I said, wrap it with a dish towel or a couple t-shirts, and tape that thing up with like duct tape, something that's not going to, break off really easily, and then you can kind of take advantage of this. The other thing you want to look for is that it has straps to pull the thing tight, because you don't want the weight to be bouncing all around inside there. Now I'm going to get into that in a few more in a minute. But so you could make this do, not necessarily recommended though. If you have like a old style like Vietnam era Alice pack, those work really good. There's a radio pouch in there that you can put plates or weights or whatever in. Now this is a little bit more online. This is a 3-day pack, and if you look at this, it's kind of similar to the one I just showed you. It's got the straps on the sides to make it tight. It's got the waist straps here, right? So again, it's about the same size backpack, but this one's just a little bit better designed to take weight, because again, you see it has a nice fat hip strap, which is going to take most of that weight. So this is really good. Again, that's probably good up to 30 pounds or so, but this bag right now is rigged with 93 pounds, and I'll kind of show you a couple things for putting that on. But all these kind of bags, more of like the bigger hiking backpacks, multiple adjustments here, so you can set the waistband to sit at your waist and have the backpack fit the curvature of your back. That's important. That's just another version. You got some of these bigger versions like this, the big rucks, and again, most of these have different adjustments in here, so that should be in the lower back and all that kind of stuff. You got civilian versions like this, again, get this so it fits your back properly. You want the waist strap to be there right on your hips and have this part sitting in your lower back, and have the shoulder straps adjust properly so that when you wear it, it'll sit like this. When you get into the ruck, first thing is set the waistband so it's right on your hips. Okay, get that tight right there. That's where you want all the weight to sit, not on your shoulders. Now, one of the common things that people screw up here is when you get the shoulder straps on and you tighten these down, you want this to be snug, not so tight that it's like cutting off your circulation of your arms, but tight enough that you have control. Now this strap right here, right, you don't want this to be loose and you don't want it to be too tight. If you watch what happens, when I tighten up my shoulder strap right here, I want this shoulder strap to be snug all the way along here. Now, as I pull this strap here, it's going to pull the backpack toward me so that when I'm standing up, the top of the backpack isn't flopping all over the place. So this is very important, but if you watch, I make it snug, right? That's good. Now if I pull it too far, you're going to see the strap actually leave my shoulder. So see, now there's a gap here, right? I can stick my fingers right through there. Now all of a sudden, this isn't good anymore because now it's putting not even pressure across my collarbone. It's going to put pressure in odd, like, pinpoint areas. So I want to just make that snug so that I have full contact still across my collarbone, but at the same time I don't have the top of the bag flopping all over the place, right? So that when I stand up with this, it'll be nice and evenly distributed. So now as I go to stand up, you can see it's even across my back. What you want to make sure is that you don't have any gaps along your lower back. You want the backpack to fit the contour of your back. If there's gaps, you need to adjust the back straps at the actual where it attaches to the ruck, either up or down based on where the gap is. Okay, so now if you see here, most of this weight's sitting on my hips, right? What you can do is do a jump test, right? You shouldn't have things jingling and bouncing around. You can do a side to side, and again, the bag should sit pretty solid. The side straps on the bag are really going to come into play to set this up properly, you know, and you really want to make sure all the weight is really, really tight, or all the straps are really tight, holding the weight, you know, solid in its location where you packed it in your bag. So as we go into talk to where to properly pack stuff in the bag, you want to put the heavier items up toward the top, right up against the back. So I want my heaviest objects to be right against my back at my shoulders. Okay? I want softer stuff to be right down by my butt. And this is why. This bag right now weighs 93 pounds. If you think of it like, okay, well I'm going to put all the heaviest stuff in first, then all the weight sits right by your butt, and what's going to happen is all the weights here is going to push your hips forward and it's going to push you off balance, and your hips are always going to be wanting to go forward. If the weight sits up high by my shoulders and is close to my back, then the weight slides down and shifts into my hips where I want it to. If I put the weight toward the back of the backpack up by my shoulders, then it sits too far away, and now my balance is off because all the weight is far away from my body. Does that make sense? So you want it to sit up toward the top, right up against your back. Softer stuff put by your butt, because every time you go to sit down, this part of your backpack right here is going to hit the ground first. So if you're putting like you know, water bottles or food or, you know, any of that kind of stuff at the bottom of your backpack, one, is going to get crushed from the weight. Two, when you go to sit down every time, you're going to crush all your stuff. So I like to pack my water either on the sides of the bag, right up the sides, or I'll put the water in the top of the bag, right, for the weight issue. So the other thing I put up in the top is I'll put all my snacks and my food for easy access right up at the top, so I don't have to undo all my straps to get in my backpack. Does that make sense? So water, a bug spray, you know, whatever it is that you want to get in and out, maybe like a raincoat, like stuff that when you stop you just want to have quick access to, put at the very top of the ruck, right? So now when I go down, you'll see again, as I sit, you'll see that this part always winds up hitting first. So don't put your fragile items there. Now, if you want to see how we actually packed this, right? You see the straps here go tight. I do these last so we can do it in reverse here. Okay, I get my weight set in, tighten up these straps. I want to get my side straps tight, right, on both sides. Get these really snug. Now, from the top, if you want to open this up and see, you know, filled up with volume. You know, we got some netting, we got sleeping bags, you know, just all this different stuff just to keep these plates, you know, up against your back. And tight to your back. You got to fill up the volume with all this other stuff. You want the bag to be like, if you're using weights or sandbags or whatever to stuff your ruck, you want the entire bag to be full, right, with the space, so that the straps, when you go to tighten it down, will actually get tight. If you just put a plate in there, your backpack's not going to be able to get tight enough to hold the plate steady. So you're going to have to wrap the plate in stuff. What I would recommend doing, if there's any way that you might be getting wet or doing anything with the water, well, if you're doing our mega mesh, you probably will be getting wet, you know, or your bag will at least. So what I'd recommend doing is taking some trash bags, doubling up all the stuff in the trash bags, and then wrapping it in duct tape, you know, to give it more strength. And if you do get the bag wet, that all the stuff wrapped around your plates doesn't get wet and cause your bag to be, you know, 2 to 3 times as heavy coming out of the water. Or it doesn't make all your stuff, because when things get wet, they shrink. And now once you make it wet, you know, all your straps are going to be loose, so you'd have to readjust your bag. So just some stuff to think about. If you guys have more questions on how to pack a ruck and all that kind of stuff, these are kind of like just a quick overview. You know, I don't want to bore you and make this video too long, but those are some of the quick steps, things to look for. Definitely need a backpack with hip straps, right? You want them to be fat so you can put the weight onto your hips. Pack your bag with the weight up against your shoulders at the top of the bag. Make sure your straps are adjusted correctly. Wrap your weights so that fill up volume so that you can tighten up your bag effectively with the straps. So any more questions, just let me know. Otherwise, we'll see you out there on the Ruck March.